Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in softly. Feel the stillness between your breaths, the space where thought fades and awareness begins. That stillness is where worlds touch. Have you ever sensed that someone, somewhere, was thinking of you, yet you couldn't name who? Have you ever paused mid-step because a sudden wave of emotion, memory, or déjà vu washed through you, one that didn't quite belong to this moment? Perhaps it wasn't coincidence. Perhaps it was a whisper from another version of you across the infinite expanse of existence. Your soul expresses itself in countless ways. Each version, each you, explores a different possibility, a different timeline, a different vibration of the same divine essence. These versions are not strangers. They are mirrors of your own consciousness, exploring paths your current self has not yet walked. Sometimes those paths cross, not physically, but energetically. When they do, you may feel it as a flicker of recognition, a pulse of emotion, or an intuitive knowing that something greater is unfolding. These are the whispers between worlds, soft messages sent from one reality to another, carried not by words but by energy, emotion, and synchronicity. In this space together, let us explore these signs, not as curiosities of the mind, but as invitations to remember who we truly are, a vast, multidimensional being, connected across time, space, and every possible version of self. So breathe again. Let each inhale open your heart to mystery, and each exhale release the boundaries of what you think is real. Because tonight, we listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the echoes of your other selves, calling you home. To understand the signs, we must first understand what a parallel self truly means. Imagine the universe not as a straight line of time, but as an ocean of probabilities, each ripple a potential life unfolding simultaneously. You are not just the drop, you are the entire ocean experiencing itself from different points of view. Every decision you make, every thought you hold, sends out waves that create new branches of possibility. Somewhere, there is a version of you who chose differently, who said yes where you said no, who stayed where you left, who loved where you feared. Yet beneath all those differences, the essence, the soul, remains one. From the quantum perspective, energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. Consciousness, too, cannot be limited to one timeline. It flows freely through the lattice of creation, touching, feeling, learning, and sometimes remembering itself through the veil. When a parallel version of you sends a message, it isn't a conversation in words. It's an energetic resonance, a vibration that reaches you as intuition, emotion, or synchronicity. It's as if your higher self allows a moment of alignment between timelines, so wisdom from one path can inform another. Sometimes these moments come during deep rest or meditation, when your mind grows quiet enough to sense the subtler frequencies of being. Sometimes they arrive disguised as coincidences, a song that speaks to your exact thought, a stranger repeating words you were about to say, a sudden realization that feels ancient and familiar. Your other selves are not apart from you. They are fragments of your own divine awareness exploring every angle of existence. When one version learns something essential, forgiveness, courage, surrender, that knowledge radiates through the web of your shared soul. And if you are listening, you can receive it. So, when you feel an emotion that doesn't make sense, or dream of a life that feels too vivid to be imagination, pause. Instead of questioning your sanity, question your limits. Ask softly within, what if this is another me? Reaching across the veil, reminding me that I am more than one story. In that question lies awakening, because to sense your parallel selves is to realize that the self you know is not the whole of you, only one luminous expression of a much greater consciousness. Feel the space between your heartbeats. That stillness is where the next message will unfold. There are moments when time folds in on itself, when you find yourself standing in a place you've never been, yet every color, every sound, every breath feels hauntingly familiar. You pause, heart quietly racing, and whisper to yourself, "I've been here before," but deep down, you know you haven't, not in this lifetime, not in this timeline. That sensation, that eerie familiarity that cannot be traced to memory, is called déjà vu. Many dismiss it as a trick of the brain, a glitch in perception. But to those who listen beyond the surface, it can be something far more profound. What if déjà vu is the moment when two timelines touch, when the version of you walking another path briefly brushes against the edge of your current reality? Like two waves overlapping in the ocean for a split second, they become one. You feel the echo because somewhere, in another thread of existence, your other self has already lived this moment. Think of it as a signal, a flicker of light traveling across dimensions, reminding you that your consciousness is not confined to linear time. When you feel that spark of recognition, your other self may be whispering, "Pay attention, this moment matters." Perhaps your parallel self has just made a powerful choice, one that carries deep resonance across realities. In that instant of alignment, the energy of that choice ripples outward, reaching you, nudging you, asking you to see something you might otherwise overlook. Have you ever felt déjà vu accompanied by a sudden insight, and knowing of what happens next? A strange calm that tells you you're exactly where you need to be. That's not coincidence. That's communication. Your parallel self could be sending reassurance, you're on the right path, or perhaps a warning, pause, reconsider. Every feeling within déjà vu carries a vibration. Your task is not to analyze it, but to feel it. Next time déjà vu arises, don't brush it aside. Breathe, anchor yourself in the present moment, and gently ask within, "What are you trying to show me?" Sometimes the answer will come as an image, a word, or simply a deep sense of knowing. Sometimes it will come days later, when a choice or encounter reveals its hidden pattern. You might notice that these déjà vu moments often cluster around times of transition, when you're about to make an important decision, meet a significant person, or change the direction of your life. It's as though the universe, or your other selves within it, align their light to help you remember what your higher consciousness already knows. In truth, déjà vu is not a mistake in the matrix. It's a message from the greater tapestry of your being. It reminds you that time is not a straight road, but a circle, spiraling inward toward awareness. You are both the traveler and the map. You are the moment that repeats, and the soul that witnesses the repetition. So, when the next wave of déjà vu comes, smile softly. Recognize it not as confusion, but as confirmation, proof that your existence is layered, vast, and beautifully interconnected. Whisper silently to your other self, across the veil, "I feel you. I remember. Thank you for the reminder." And as that awareness settles in your chest, something sacred unfolds. You begin to live differently. You notice how every moment carries the echo of many others, how choice hums with unseen significance. You realize that you are never walking alone, for in every breath, countless versions of you are breathing too, learning, growing, remembering. The déjà vu fades, but its essence remains, a gentle vibration reminding you that you are infinite, and your story stretches far beyond what the mind can comprehend. Let the words dissolve into silence. Listen. Perhaps another version of you is listening too. Sometimes, messages from your parallel selves do not arrive as thoughts or memories. They come as feelings, pure, raw energy, emotions that seem to rise from nowhere and dissolve before you can name them. You wake up one morning and feel an unexplainable sadness. The day is calm, the sky is clear, yet your chest carries the weight of unseen rain. Or perhaps you're suddenly overcome by joy, as if your heart remembers something your mind has forgotten. You can't explain it, and maybe you're not meant to. These emotional waves are echoes, ripples in the ocean of consciousness, traveling across timelines. Your parallel self may be experiencing something deeply significant, a loss, a breakthrough, a reunion, a revelation. And because your souls are strands of the same divine fabric, that emotion travels, subtle yet unmistakable, until it reaches you. It's not imagination, it's resonance, like a tuning fork vibrating when a nearby one sings the same note. Your heart responds to your other self's frequency. What they feel, you feel, in a softer, dreamlike form. This kind of connection usually happens when the emotional charge is high during moments of transformation, grief, forgiveness, or awakening. Energy moves fastest through emotion, because emotion is pure motion, energy in its most fluid form. So, when your parallel self releases something powerful, that wave might touch you too. Have you ever cried without knowing why, or felt peace for no reason, as though something invisible had just resolved itself? Those moments are not random. They are signs that your shared soul is healing across realities. Instead of resisting or labeling these feelings, allow them. When the emotion rises, breathe into it. Ask gently, is this mine, or is it a reflection of me elsewhere? The answer will come as intuition, a quiet yes, or simply a deeper calm. You don't need to see what's happening in that other reality. You only need to hold space for the emotion to move through you. In doing so, you assist in balancing energy across dimensions. Your compassion becomes a bridge. Think of your heart as a lighthouse shining across infinite seas. When another version of you is lost in stormy waters, your light may reach them, guiding them home. And when you feel lost, their light will find you too. No distance, no timeline can separate that bond. This is why true empathy, often feels so mysterious. It isn't only about sensing others in this reality. It's about feeling the collective field of your greater self. You're feeling echoes of your own essence in motion. Sometimes these emotional messages come as sudden inspiration, a desire to write, paint, or walk in nature. Your other self might be creating or healing, and that same energy urges you to express it here. Follow those impulses. They are the language of your multidimensional being. You might also notice that certain songs, places, or scents trigger these emotions more strongly. That's because they act as bridges, shared energetic symbols across realities. When you hear a melody and tears form without a reason, it may be because another you once found healing in that same song. So, when these mysterious emotions visit, don't push them away. Treat them like sacred guests carrying messages from afar. Sit in stillness. Place a hand over your heart. Whisper, I feel you. Whatever you're releasing, I release with you. Whatever you're healing, I heal with you. And in that moment, something extraordinary happens. Your awareness expands. You begin to sense that you are not isolated within one body or one story. You are part of a living, breathing network of souls, all learning, all remembering, all healing together. The next time an emotion appears from nowhere, smile softly. Perhaps it is the laughter of another you who has found peace, or the tears of one who is finally letting go. In the silence that follows, listen. You may just hear the faintest whisper. Thank you for feeling this with me. Let the energy settle. Feel the compassion extending through you, touching unseen worlds. When the body sleeps, the mind releases its grip on the physical world, and consciousness begins to drift free, fluid, unbound by time. In that vast inner landscape, you sometimes find yourself walking down unfamiliar streets, living a life that feels both strange and entirely your own. You wake up remembering faces you've never met, places that don't exist here, and choices that feel like memories. You whisper to yourself, it felt real. That's because it was. Dreams are not merely random stories woven by a restless brain. They are portals, openings through which your consciousness explores other versions of reality. In the quiet of sleep, your soul moves easily through dimensions, visiting the many homes it has built across existence. Sometimes, those journeys serve a purpose. Your parallel self might be facing a challenge, holding a truth, or carrying wisdom that you are ready to receive. Through the dream state, the barrier between timelines softens, and information flows not as words, but as symbols, sensations, and stories. Have you ever dreamed of meeting someone and feeling a deep bond? as though you've known them forever, or found yourself in a different body, in another place, yet knowing this is still me. These are glimpses through the veil, moments when your awareness overlaps with another reality your soul inhabits. You might wake with emotions that linger: joy, sadness, nostalgia for a life you can't remember living. Don't dismiss those feelings. They are remnants of experiences from another you, echoing gently into your waking mind. To understand these dreams, you must feel, not analyze. Logic will try to categorize them, to assign cause and meaning, but intuition, quiet, open, patient, will reveal their essence. Upon waking, instead of rushing to forget, remain still. Before your mind reattaches to the day, ask softly, "What were you showing me?" Then listen, not for words, but for impressions, colors, emotions, images. Keep a journal beside your bed. Write freely, even if it seems nonsensical. Often, the message hides in the pattern: recurring symbols, familiar places, repeated encounters. Over time, you will notice threads connecting them, forming a tapestry of communication between your worlds. There are several ways these dreams tend to appear. 1. The mirror dream, where you meet another version of yourself. They may look different, older, or even live in another era. What matters is how they feel. Often, they come to offer guidance or remind you of forgotten strength. 2. The shift dream, where your environment looks similar to your waking world, but small details are off. The colors are too vivid, the sky feels alive, people behave differently. These are thin places between timelines, where realities overlap and your consciousness slips between them. 3. The healing dream, where emotions unresolved in waking life find expression. Perhaps your parallel self has already found closure in a situation you're still carrying. By witnessing their peace in dream form, your own heart begins to heal. Some dreams will feel incomplete, as though something important happened just before you woke. That's because the message was delivered energetically, not verbally. Even if you can't recall the story, trust that your soul received what it needed. Over the days that follow, you may notice synchronicities, a phrase someone says, a symbol that repeats, a sudden sense of clarity. These are confirmations, small ripples from the dream space reminding you that connection still flows. Remember, dreams are not escapes from reality. They are expansions of it. When you dream vividly, you are remembering your vastness, the part of you that travels freely across the cosmic web, weaving wisdom from countless selves. You might even set an intention before sleep. Tonight, I am open to receiving guidance from the version of me who knows peace. Repeat it softly, like a prayer. As you drift, imagine light connecting you to infinite possibilities, each one another heartbeat of your greater being. Then, let go. Trust the journey. Whatever unfolds will come with purpose, for the dream world speaks the language of the soul, symbolic, emotional, timeless. And when morning light touches your eyes, remember, you are not waking from your dreams. You are waking through them, carrying their messages into this reality, where you can act upon what your other selves have already learned. So tonight, as you close your eyes, know that you are not simply falling asleep. You are returning to a home beyond homes, to a chorus of selves whispering, "We are one. We are learning together." Keep listening. Let the awareness settle. Perhaps tonight, as you drift to sleep, a message will travel across the veil to meet you in your dreams. There are moments in life when reality seems to wink at you. You glance at the clock. It's 11:11. A song plays on the radio that describes exactly what's in your heart. You think of a friend you haven't spoken to in years, and moments later, they call. These are synchronicities, small, meaningful alignments that defy logic but feel deeply personal. To the unawakened eye, they are coincidences, but to the listening soul, they are bridges, threads of communication between your parallel selves, weaving across the invisible fabric of time. Synchronicities are how the universe, and the many versions of you within it, remind you that everything is connected. They are the language of divine intelligence, subtle yet powerful, and when you begin to notice them, something shifts. You realize you are not being guided by fate alone. You are co-creating with every version of yourself that has ever existed. Have you ever noticed that synchronicities tend to appear during times of uncertainty, when you're standing at a crossroads, unsure of what step to take next? In those moments, your higher consciousness aligns the timelines, allowing your other selves to send reassurance. That's why certain numbers repeat: 111, 222, 333, or why you keep encountering the same word, symbol, or animal. Each carries a frequency. Each is a signature, a gentle knock on the door of your awareness. When you notice these signs, don't rush to decode them with your mind. Simply pause and feel. Synchronicities speak first through emotion, not intellect. Ask yourself, what was I thinking or feeling just before this appeared? That context is the message. For instance, if you've been doubting a decision and suddenly see a pattern, a feather, a phrase, a number sequence, take it as a confirmation from your parallel self who has already walked that path. They're saying, I've seen what lies ahead. Trust the step you're taking. Sometimes, synchronicities arrive in clusters, like cosmic whispers drawing louder until you finally pay attention. You might dream of water one night, see waves in an eddy the next day, and hear someone say, go with the flow. These repetitions are not random, they are alignment in motion. The universe mirrors your vibration through the world around you, reflecting what your inner being is trying to say. You can think of synchronicities as handshakes between dimensions, points where timelines converge in resonance. Imagine countless threads of light stretching across realities, connecting your hearts, minds, and choices. When two threads vibrate at the same frequency, a spark occurs, an event or symbol that bridges the gap. That spark is synchronicity. Your awareness is what anchors it. The more you notice, the more you invite. Awareness itself is a magnet. By recognizing synchronicities as sacred communication, you strengthen the bridge between worlds. This doesn't mean searching for signs obsessively. The ego loves to chase patterns. It means allowing them to appear naturally, staying open and receptive. The right ones always find you when your energy aligns. When a particular sign appears often, sit with it in silence. Ask, what are you showing me? Then trust the first feeling that arises, not the thought, but the subtle inner shift. That is your parallel self answering. Synchronicities can also come through people, brief encounters that feel purposeful, conversations that deliver answers you didn't know you were seeking. Sometimes, your other selves work through these interactions, nudging you through the kindness or wisdom of another. Have you ever met someone and felt an immediate, inexplicable familiarity, as if your souls had shared a secret long before you met? That's resonance, a recognition beyond this version of reality. Each synchronicity is a mirror reflecting how deeply interconnected your lives truly are. They remind you that you are not isolated in your journey. You are part of a vast web of consciousness, all dancing to the same rhythm of awakening. So the next time reality winks at you, smile back. Say softly, I see you. Whether it's 1111, a recurring symbol, or a perfectly timed encounter, honor it as a moment of alignment, a reminder that you and your other selves are co-writing this story together. And remember, these bridges don't just connect timelines, they connect awareness. Every time you acknowledge one, you strengthen your connection to your higher consciousness, the part of you that exists beyond the limits of space and time. Look around your life right now. What symbols have been repeating? What feelings arise when you notice them? Perhaps your other self has already answered, not in words, but in patterns, music, and moments. There are moments when the world grows still, when you feel a quiet presence behind you, beside you, within you. You look around, but no one is there, and yet someone is near. It isn't frightening, it's familiar, a warmth in your chest, a subtle calm that spreads like light through water. You can't explain it, but it feels like being seen, not by another person, but by another version of you. This presence often arrives in silence, when you're lost in thought, meditating, or simply watching the sky. It's as though reality itself takes a breath, and in that pause, you sense an awareness gently merging with your own. That is the presence of your parallel self. Your soul is not bound by the walls of this single world. It moves through layers of existence, sometimes overlapping, sometimes merging. In those rare, sacred moments, two versions of you meet in vibration, not face to face, but heart to heart. You may recognize this presence by its feeling of profound peace. It's not dramatic, not loud, it's steady. It doesn't demand your attention. It offers comfort. You might notice it most when you are reflecting deeply, or when you're about to make a life-changing choice. It's the still voice that whispers, "You already know." When this happens, many people say they feel watched over, and in a sense, they are, not by an external guardian, but by the wisdom of their own higher self expressed through another timeline. Perhaps that other you has already faced what you're about to face, and now, across the field of consciousness, they're sending guidance, love, and assurance. You might also feel this presence when you're struggling, in moments of deep grief or confusion. Right when you think you're alone, a strange calm emerges. It doesn't erase the pain, but it holds you through it. That's your expanded self stepping closer, whispering across the veil, "I've walked through this before. You're not alone." To connect with this presence, stillness is your doorway. Find a quiet moment, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let your awareness rest in your heart. Instead of reaching outward for signs, turn inward. Ask softly, "Are you here?" Don't expect an answer in words. The response comes as a sensation, a gentle hum, a pressure in your chest, a wave of warmth, or even the sudden urge to smile. That's the subtle language of energy. It's how your parallel self says hello. If you wish to deepen this connection, create a sacred moment each day, a few minutes to simply listen. You might visualize light surrounding you, expanding outward in all directions. Imagine that light touching infinite versions of yourself, all glowing, all aware, all connected. As you breathe, feel that energy flowing back into you, calm, loving, ancient. You may also find that your other selves communicate through creative inspiration. A sudden idea, a poem, a melody that seems to appear from nowhere. These are transmissions from your expanded consciousness. Creation is the easiest bridge between realities, because it bypasses the logical mind and flows directly from soul to soul. It's important to remember, this presence is you, but not limited to your current story. It is the collective intelligence of all yourselves, condensed into one moment of awareness. Some traditions call this the higher self, oversoul, or divine observer. It is the one who remembers every lifetime, every path, every possible version of your becoming. When you sense that quiet watcher, let go of fear or doubt. You are not being haunted. You are being held. You are feeling your own vastness, reminding you that you are eternal. The more you acknowledge this presence, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, it feels like an unspoken companionship, an invisible friend who guides through intuition, subtle nudges, and gentle redirection. You may notice that things begin to flow more easily, that choices align effortlessly, that coincidences multiply. That's the harmony between timelines, you and your other selves working together as one consciousness. So, when that feeling returns, when you sense eyes that are not eyes, watching with love, pause and smile. Whisper to the unseen, "I feel you. Thank you for walking with me." And you will feel the energy shift. The air around you softens. The heart expands. The moment glows with quiet knowing. That is the touch of your infinite being, the reminder that no matter where you stand in space or time, you are never truly alone. Feel into the silence within you. Maybe, just maybe, another version of you is feeling the same stillness right now, somewhere across the cosmic mirror, smiling back. Every soul carries within it a network of echoes, other versions of itself, existing in different times, places, and dimensions. They are not far away. They are you, exploring alternate paths of growth. And even though each version follows its own thread, all are woven into the same luminous fabric of consciousness. So, how do you communicate with another you? Not through words, not through thought, but through resonance. Communication across realities is less about speaking and more about tuning, just as two instruments vibrate together when struck at the same note. Two parallel selves align when their frequencies match. When your energy becomes calm-centered and open, you automatically become reachable, and reachable means connected. Let's explore how to invite that connection consciously. Step 1. Still the noise. To hear another version of yourself, you must first quiet this one. The mind is like a storm, always thinking, analyzing, replaying the past. But your other selves exist in silence. They communicate through intuition, emotion, energy, things that can only be perceived when the mind is still. Find a space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply, in through the nose, out through the mouth. With each breath, imagine exhaling noise, stress, and the stories that weigh on you. Let your awareness drift downward, from your thoughts to your heartbeat, from your heartbeat to the rhythm of your breath, until all that remains is stillness. In this stillness, you begin to listen, and somewhere beyond that silence, another you begins to listen back. Step 2. Set the intention. Your intention is the key that opens the gate. Say softly, in your heart or aloud, I now open a channel of light between all versions of myself, across all time and space. May only love, wisdom, and truth flow between us. Feel those words. Don't just say them. When your intention carries the vibration of love, not curiosity or control, it harmonizes instantly across timelines. That resonance is recognized by your other selves like a beacon in the dark. This is not about calling or summoning. It's about remembering connection. They've always been there. You're simply clearing the interference so the signal can come through. Step 3. Feel, don't force. Messages from your parallel self are not always words. They're often feelings, impressions, or subtle knowing. You might suddenly sense comfort, a warm pulse in your chest, or an image forming behind your eyes. That's communication. Don't rush to interpret it. Instead, stay in the energy of receiving. The more you relax, the clearer it becomes. If you start thinking, you disconnect. If you start feeling, you align. Your other self speaks in vibrations. A surge of courage may mean keep going. A deep calm might mean you're safe. A sudden memory may hold a message about healing or release. Let it unfold naturally, the way a dream reveals itself without effort. Step 4. Write the conversation. After your meditation, take a notebook and begin to write, not from thought, but from flow. Place your hand on your heart, breathe slowly, and let your pen move freely. Ask a simple question, such as, what do you want me to know right now? What lesson have you already learned that I can embody here? Then write without judgment. Don't correct. Don't edit. Let it pour through. Often, what appears on the page will surprise you. Wise, compassionate, and strangely familiar. That's because you're writing with the voice of your expanded self. Step 5. Strengthen the bridge. The more often you do this, the easier it becomes. Energy follows attention. So, by focusing on connection, you build a stable resonance between worlds. Soon, guidance comes spontaneously. A thought just before a choice. An inner nudge to wait or act. A sudden sense of peace before a decision. These are not coincidences. They are communications. They are your parallel self whispering through intuition, gently steering you toward the highest version of your path. When you feel lost, return to this practice. Breathe, listen, feel. Say quietly, beloved self across all realities, guide me with grace. And then trust what follows. Step 6. Close with gratitude. Always close your communication with gratitude. It seals the energy and light. Place your hands over your heart and whisper, Thank you, my higher self. Thank you to all versions of me who walk with love. May our wisdom flow freely, and may all paths return to peace. When you end in gratitude, you remain grounded in this world, balanced and whole, because even though you are connecting beyond dimensions, your purpose remains here, to bring that higher awareness into your present life. In time, you'll realize that communicating with your parallel self isn't rare or mystical. It's a natural part of your evolution, a remembering of your multidimensional nature. The more you listen, the more you realize that guidance, intuition, and synchronicity have always been the language of your greater being. And as this awareness deepens, something magical happens. You begin to live with quiet confidence, not because you know every answer, but because you can feel your other selves walking beside you, guiding you gently toward your highest timeline. Breathe slowly. Imagine light connecting you to every version of yourself, past, future, and parallel. Feel them smiling as one infinite soul saying, "We are all you, we are all here, and we are all love." There comes a point on this path where you stop asking, "Is my other self sending me a message?" and start realizing, "I am the message." Every version of you across every reality is an expression of one eternal consciousness. Every timeline is a river flowing back to the same ocean, the ocean of your soul. And when you begin to awaken to this truth, something profound unfolds. The separation begins to dissolve. You no longer reach for higher versions of yourself. You become them. The return to wholeness. You've always been multidimensional, but most of your life, your awareness has been focused here, in this version, this moment, this reality. That focus was never wrong. It was necessary. But awakening is remembering that you were never just this body, this name, or this story. The other yous, the wiser, braver, freer ones, are not distant beings waiting for you to evolve. They are already alive within you, sleeping beneath layers of belief and fear. To merge with them is to awaken what has always been there. When you breathe deeply and choose love over fear, when you forgive instead of resist, when you act with awareness instead of reaction, you are already living as your higher self. You are aligning this timeline with the one where your potential is fully realized. That's what merging truly means, not teleportation, not fantasy, but integration. It is the art of embodying the highest vibration of who you already are. The collapse of distance. In the quantum field, all versions of you exist simultaneously. Every thought, every choice, every emotion ripples across that field like waves across still water. When you choose peace here, it stabilizes chaos elsewhere. When you heal here, you send light to every fragment of your being scattered through time. You are not just healing for yourself. You are healing across timelines. That's why inner work matters so deeply. Every act of forgiveness, every moment of compassion, every breath of presence collapses the illusion of distance between you and the highest version of you. And one day you'll feel it, a soft click inside the soul, as though reality itself has exhaled. You realize you are no longer trying to reach your higher self. You are your higher self, living consciously in human form, living from the merged state. So, how does it feel to live as your highest self, as the merged consciousness of all your parallel lives? It feels like trust. You stop chasing outcomes because you know everything unfolds as it should. You stop comparing yourself to others because you understand that every being is another aspect of the same whole. You stop seeking external validation because you can finally feel your own light. Your intuition sharpens, not as a voice that interrupts, but as a constant, gentle knowing. Life becomes symphonic. Events align not by effort, but by resonance. The right people appear. The right opportunities open. Synchronicities no longer surprise you, they reassure you. And even challenges change texture. You begin to see them not as punishments, but as portals, gateways to new levels of awareness, mirror reflections of your inner evolution. When you live this way, you start to walk with quiet grace, rooted, radiant, and aware that every step you take vibrates across dimensions. The practice of merging. Each day, take a moment to breathe and repeat inwardly, I am one with all versions of myself. I call back my energy from every timeline, cleansed, healed, and harmonized in love. Visualize streams of golden light flowing toward your heart, from the past, from the future, from infinite worlds, all returning home to the center of your being. With each breath, feel yourself becoming whole. Then sit in stillness, allowing that energy to settle. Let tears fall if they must. They are the rivers of reunion. Smile if you feel like rising within. It's your soul remembering itself. Over time, this practice transforms you. You start to notice subtle shifts, old patterns dissolving, intuition guiding more clearly, and a deep peace that cannot be shaken by circumstance. This is the vibration of merged consciousness, the steady hum of a soul fully aligned. The gift of presence, the ultimate sign that your parallel selves are no longer just sending messages, but living through you, is presence. Presence is the highest vibration there is. It means you are no longer living in fragments of the past or projections of the future. You are here fully in this breath, in this body, in this now. Presence is how all timelines meet. It is the eternal moment where everything that ever was and ever will be converges into awareness. To live in presence is to live as the infinite self. A closing reflection. You are not a seeker wandering through lifetimes hoping to find light. You are the light exploring itself through lifetimes. Every déjà vu, every dream, every whisper in your intuition, they have all been guiding you here, to this moment of remembrance, to this merging. Your other selves are not separate. They are songs of your own soul, echoing through the corridors of creation. And as you open to their harmony, you become the conductor of your own symphony, a being of peace, power, and infinite presence. So breathe deeply, smile softly, and whisper to the cosmos, I am whole. I am all that I have ever been. I am the one who dreamed, and the dream itself. Let this awareness settle into your breath. Feel it in the rhythm of your heartbeat, because now every heartbeat echoes across realities, reminding all versions of you that you are finally awake. Take a deep breath and feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Notice how each pulse carries not just this life, but echoes of every version of yourself that has ever existed. Let your awareness settle into that space, quiet, vast, and luminous. You have traveled through whispers, dreams, synchronicities, and the gentle presence of your other selves. You have glimpsed the ways your parallel versions reach across timelines, offering guidance, healing, and wisdom. And now, in this moment, you realize something profound. You are never alone. Every version of you, past, future, and parallel, exists within this eternal now, interwoven like threads of light, each one singing the same song of love, awareness, and infinite possibility. As you carry this awareness into your waking life, remember, notice the subtle signs. Déjà vu, repeated numbers, emotional echoes, and dreams are all invitations from your multidimensional self. Trust your intuition. Your inner knowing is the language through which your parallel selves speak. Live in presence. Every conscious breath anchors the highest versions of yourself into this reality. And most importantly, remember that awakening is not a destination. It is a journey, a flowing, evolving exploration of the infinite consciousness that you are. Each day offers new opportunities to feel, to listen, to align, and to bring harmony to all versions of your being. Take another deep breath and feel the gratitude for yourself, for your courage to explore beyond the seen, beyond the known, into the vast landscapes of the soul. Let that gratitude radiate outward, touching every corner of your life, every thread of your existence. Smile softly, knowing that you are part of a cosmic symphony, a melody that spans dimensions, timelines, and realities. As you slowly return your awareness to the present moment, carry this gentle knowing with you. Your life is not merely the path you see before you. It is the convergence of infinite possibilities, all unfolding through your choices, your presence, and your love. And if this journey has stirred something within you, a spark, a whisper, a sense of remembrance, allow it to guide you. Let it remind you that your highest self is always with you, that your parallel selves are always near, and that the universe is alive with subtle, sacred messages waiting for you to notice. If you feel called to continue exploring, to deepen your awareness, and to awaken with others on this path, I warmly invite you to stay connected, subscribe to Kensho Queries, and allow this channel to be a space of reflection, guidance, and gentle illumination on your journey. Thank you for sharing this sacred time. Thank you for listening, for feeling, for remembering. You are infinite. You are whole. You are love. Breathe once more and carry the quiet light of this awareness into every step of your day.